So the craziest thing happened. A few weeks ago, I purchased a new alarm clock since my one from the 90s finally died. And it worked fine. And then all of a sudden, a couple of days ago, this is all it displays. So I unplugged it and plugged it back in. And yeah. And the thing about it is, it's still blinking, but it doesn't show anything other than 9:23. So I guess that's confirmation. And the thing is, my question is, are we being serious about this right now? I mean, here's a Wikipedia article that I just pulled up real fast on synchromysticism. Is the practice of attributing mystical or esoteric significance to coincidences. So let me get this straight. The way people are getting their confirmations is through witchcraft. It's not a really good look for the church, but then again, they do celebrate several witches' Sabbaths over the years, so I guess it's par for the course. I mean, there's supposed to be a component of morality in being a Christian, and that's the problem that I have with all this mess that's going on, is that there's something more going on in these people's lives if this is how they're getting confirmation. I mean, at one point I was a young Christian and I wanted confirmation on something that I believe that God showed me, but I didn't go and look at license plates or fake clocks like this one to get this stuff. I went to, how about another believer, say my pastor, and I shared with him, I think this is what's going on. Can he confirm it? He couldn't, but at least I went to somebody that I believed was a spirit-filled believer that was more mature in Messiah than I was. So as far as this goes, this is a prop. Friday, I got a little bored and I decided, why don't I grab some of this electronic stuff that's just hanging around? And I programmed up an Arduino and basically said, I want you to look like a clock and say 9:23 all the time. Now, I wanted something that looked kind of realistic as an actual clock that you actually might find in the marketplace online or whatever. And I wanted something that had a very 21st century look to it, where the screen on it kind of blended in with the finish of the rest of the body. And I couldn't think anything that I could use for that. And then it dawned on me, I have some black latex gloves. See, this is really where my creativity shines. And so this is basically an LED display with a latex glove wrapped around it. It's basically just taped on there. So yeah, it looks so good, I'll probably program it to be an actual clock. But for the time being, it's confirmation. So I thought I'd have just a little bit of fun with that. Here's the other thing. I kept thinking, what else could I add to this video? And along with the witchcraft confirmation, we also have a video of just flat out lying. Wackadoodle Samoan posted it up last night, and I want to go through this video with you because it is just so full of nonsense, but yet it's making its rounds.
The Essenes correctly predicted pretty much all of the dates in the New Testament and were super accurate about them. They also predicted the second coming, and my friend did a video on this, but they have it restricted. I can't repost it. You guys need to see this.
First off, she needs to cite her source. Just claiming that a group of people made a bunch of prophecies doesn't do it for me. I actually need to see where that information came from. And I'm well aware that if you go to the Essene calendar that it's on, Ken Johnson's website, I don't remember, I don't care, that he does list that say 32 AD is the year for the crucifixion, but I don't think he came to that conclusion using his calendar. I think he came to that conclusion using the calendars that we already use. But nevertheless, let's go to the next part.
The Essenes were people that predicted to the day Jesus' first coming, 150 years before he came. And then they also predicted his death, burial, and resurrection with 100% accuracy. They talked about King Herod being an evil king that reigned during this time, seeking to destroy Jesus. These are all things that were predicted by the Essenes with 100% accuracy. They also found the Dead Sea Scrolls. So this is something to note, because then they also talk about an age of grace being 2,000 years, and then the possible end being 2032. So this puts us right about here, which would make sense. If that is true, if that is what they're predicting, then it would make sense that this 7 years, this year to the day is going to be very biblical very, very soon.
Now, again, I need her to cite her source because I thought the church age was a mystery until it was revealed after the cross, but okay. And of course, I've already pointed out that 32 AD is not the year possible for the crucifixion, considering Passover landed on a Monday and you don't get 3 days and 3 nights from Monday to Sunday.
I was like, now how can they prove that? Well, guess what? There is an asteroid right now that is circling between Virgo and also Leo. And I need to show you a pattern because remember, God is a God of order and patterns. This asteroid is called Qumran 52301. It's the asteroid. And it is, of course, because the Essenes are the ones that I guess have located it. Qumran is what this asteroid is called.
So first off, it was discovered in 1991. So keep that in mind when she says anything about seeing it in 1948. But here it is.
Notice the date that this asteroid enters Leo. Coincidence?
Yeah, that's some coincidence. It's so coincidental that it's not even a thing. I mean, here we are, 1948, May 14th. And it is not in Leo.
So we're going to take a look down here. This is where it is currently, but it has been known to have a pattern where it travels between Leo and Virgo, and it has a 7-year pattern. And the pattern goes like this. It travels for 3.5 years down to Virgo, and then it travels 3.5 years to come back. So these are 7-year cycles, which is very biblical.
So first thing is, it is currently in Virgo, not Leo, as she has claimed. And as you can see, we're 2025, September 7th, as of recording this. And let's see if it's got that pattern as she claims that it does. Now we're in Leo. Whoop. Now we're in Cancer, Gemini, Orion, back to Gemini, Taurus, Pisces. Yeah, I think we get the point.
So it's right here, right now. So in 1948, the asteroid enters into Leo. And then that was the first time that they saw it. In 1951, the asteroid enters into Virgo. So it takes 3.5 years. And it stays there for 3.5 years. But then it moves back. 1955, 3 years, 3.5 years exactly. So that's a whole cycle. So it takes 3.5 years to get here, 3.5 years to get back. That's a 7-year cycle. So it's sitting here right now.
So what are the chances that's going to be false also? So here we are, 1948, May 4th. Oh, look, we're not in Leo. But why not? Let's go through the years and see where we ended up. Now we're up in Pisces, 1950, we're in Gemini, 51, now we're back in Virgo. And then let's go to 52. What I went up to? What? Oh, we're back in Leo, and then 1955, we're back where we started. We're going to have to pause. I think Norman wants to go outside.
What's amazing about this is they have predicted from May 14th, 1948, the first time this asteroid entered into Leo, to May 14th, 2032. It runs a total of 12 7-year cycles. This is biblical.
So since I've already pointed out that it doesn't just go between Leo and Virgo back and forth, it actually orbits the sun, let's just take a look at that. So here's its orbit, and if we come down here, we have the period is 3.5188. Let's just grab this number and see what happens when we plug it into the old calculator. So we'll copy that up, and we'll just... So she's saying 12 periods of back and forth, which means we'll have to double whatever number we get. But what we're going to do is we're going to multiply this times 12, and we get 42.22 years, and then times 2, 84, almost 84 and a half years. Not that I have to really bring this up, but how many years between May 14th, 1948 to May 14th of 2032? 84 years, not 84 and a half. It's 84 years, obviously. I mean, we could have done that on the calculator, but, you know, why not? There's some pretty colors here.
Now, if you're a math whiz, I'm not, but this is important to note. There are some years that it looks like, well, how does that line up? And I'm going to show you why this is something to note. In the fourth cycle of 7 years, from 1972 to 1986, This asteroid stays here in Leo.
So from 1972 to 1986, it just sits there in Leo. Well, we're already off to a bad start since we're in Virgo, but okay, 1973, 1974, 1975, 1976. I think you get the point. Ooh, we're in Cancer now because it's supposed to be in Leo. And we're back in Virgo.
But then, after 1986, the asteroid started moving again, and it went back to its 7-year pattern, moving back and forth. 3.5 years here, 3.5 years back. So it went back to its regular cycle until it hit 2018, and it has stayed right here again. So if that is the case, then we're going to be here. It's going to stay here for 14 years.
All right, let's look at 2018. Off to a bad start since we're in Virgo, and it shouldn't be moving. Aquarius, Taurus. Now we're in Leo. Ophiuchus, serpents. Anyway, let's just fast forward back in Virgo, Taurus, Ophiuchus, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo.
Humans will govern for 6,000 years, and then 2032, right down here, will mark the end of government on Earth. And this constellation will not move, or this asteroid rather, will not move again. It will stay with the king.
So you know what hasn't moved? The time. I love it when people make videos like this because I know they're lying, and I know that I can go and I can look it up and I can show others that they are lying. And so, yeah, I think once we get past atonement, because you know what's going to happen. September 23rd is going to come and go, and then people are going to go and they're going to wait. Oh, wait a minute. We're in a Jubilee year. They've been saying that. I disagree, but okay. So they're going to say, wait a minute. Rosh Hashanah lands on Yom Kippur on a Jubilee year. You can go check that out in Torah calendar if you want. I don't think they're right with the Jubilee year either, but you can look at all 49 years and you can see that Rosh Hashanah is under Yom Teruah. And then when you go to Yom Kippur on the 50th year, you will see that Rosh Hashanah lands on Atonement. And so they'll go there and then they'll see, oh, look, there's a trumpet in Leviticus 25. And I did a video like a week before September 23rd back in 2017, kind of explaining that this is what people were going to do. And of course they did it. And so I don't appreciate the lying. I don't appreciate really witchcraft. I mean, but if it wasn't for people seeing 923 and clocks and license plates and whatever else they could find, I wouldn't have built that. It was kind of fun to do. So anyway, I guess until next week. Oh, and one last thing, because I know people are going to ask about the ring. It's on the middle finger. No, I'm not married. I guess I'm good at silversmithing. I took one of the half-ounce ingots that I had refined last summer, and I took a ball-peen hammer to it, and 4 hours later, I ended up with a ring. So, yeah, I have no jewelry grade tools whatsoever. So, I think it came out pretty good. That's really what it comes down to. So, and I figure if I'm going to make it, might as well wear it. I mean, the mandrel that I used was a 12 millimeter socket. So, yeah, kind of give you an idea of the crudity that but anyway. So, okay, now I'm done.